trying to record in a higher resolution, but obviously because of that, I can't look at myself. Does make it a little distracting because I'm trying to avoid looking at anything else. Um, but we'll give it a shot. Hmm. Okay, well, time to get started. I'm not going to bend down to look in the microphone. Okay, we're not getting anything done. Take 3. Okay, well, I'm going to try and talk about what's going on. This has been way more difficult the last few days. I'm definitely fully into procrastinating and avoiding doing anything uh, productive at all, basically. Um, yeah, just really having a hard time. One, sitting still, and two, being productive. So those sound like they're counterintuitive, that they wouldn't be happening at the same time, which is probably part of the struggle. Um, but yeah, I on both hands, like on one hand, I feel this need to start accomplishing things, start looking for a job, start figuring out where I'm going to live next, figuring out my situation, um, focusing on dealing with some of the emotional stuff, mental stuff of going back to Canada and coming back again and everything that's happened there. Um, and on the other hand, I'm trying to stay put and not panic and not feel like I need to go on this trip or go to this place or go do this or rush away from. And I'm trying to just slow down and live and be here and um, let life happen. I still have absolutely no idea what I'm doing, but what I have sort of settled on is um I'm just gonna pretend that everything's okay and that I figured it all out, and I'm going to um imagine that that's the case, and from there choose that as my starting point. And if everything was figured out, and if I knew what I was doing already, and if I wasn't stressed out and panicking and all of these things, what would be important to me? And so right now it's physical fitness and diet and trying to get where I want to be with that. Like that has been this thing for me for a really long time. And I've told myself that it's not actually possible to get where I want to be, even though 20 years ago, 15 years ago, 10 years ago, like I had people come up to me and encourage me to keep going, and I ignored it just like I do with a lot of things. Um and I've worked closely with like a lot of really good people and a lot of people with good genetics and a lot of people with really good work ethic and I've seen what can happen. And so I really, really want to pursue this and see what I can accomplish and see where I can get with this instead of telling myself that I can't, or telling myself that where I'm at is good enough, or any of these things. Like I want to actually push the limit of what's possible and see where I can get to. Um and if I had nothing else to worry about, that would be my prime goal. And if I had an infinite amount of money, that would still be the focus, and I would maybe do it in a more extravagant way. But I think realistically I would probably end up back in the same situation of just coming somewhere where the food is clean and the life is simple, and I can just focus on one thing for the moment. And that is not in line with anything that um, has to do with my career or my future, or anything, but I don't care right now. I have um, a degenerative nerve disease that affects synaptic response, and there's like a real likelihood in the next 10 years that this would be significantly harder for me to accomplish. So this is it. And really I could die, I could be paralyzed, I could be all of these things that are not likely to happen, and I've never lived my life that way. But maybe it's time to start living my life um, with a sense of urgency, um, instead of just this penchant for destruction and abuse, and all the negative things that I uh, wallow in often. Um, it's like 2018, 2019. I went into like intense therapy, rehabilitation stuff, and did like 3 months sort of locked up. Um, I really, really needed it at the time. It was really beneficial. And when I was leaving, they strongly recommended that I not leave. Um, that I was at a really high risk of not making it, and a really high risk of hurting myself, and those things were absolutely true. And I did try to hurt myself quite a few more times after that, and I did try to destroy my life quite a few more times after that. Um, I hurt myself quite a bit. I did a lot of damage to myself and to my life. And I mean, it never stops really, but I look at that as, I mean, I'm basically still on borrowed time at this point. I more than likely shouldn't have been alive half a dozen times since then. And leading up to that, I there was a few times I shouldn't have been alive before that. Probably more than a few. And at some point, uh, it's got to start to matter that that's been my trajectory, and that's what I've been trying to say to the world and to myself. Um, that I don't want to be here, and so I need to figure out a way to not be like that. And um, at this point, I really feel like it's whatever it takes, whatever that looks like, w- whatever route I need to go, or whatever risks I need to take. I've tried and failed at every normal kind of life that you can have, and failed successfully. I historically fail upward somehow, but that doesn't ever really seem to sink in or have any impact. Um, I There's nothing left to wait for me. This is it. So wherever I go, wherever this ends up, wherever I end up, it doesn't it doesn't matter anymore because uh I'm out of time, and I'm out of tries, and I'm out of uh, I'm yeah. I'm just this is it for me. Wherever this goes, and however this shakes out, like I already won. I already made it. Um, I think we're at I don't even 26 years, something like that. 26 more years than I should have been. I don't even know how, 23, maybe 24. The number of times that I've touched death and it hasn't changed me enough to stop being like this. Um, yeah, it's this is it. This is this is the all or nothing ride for me. So yeah, I'm gonna give it everything I got and see where I land. And I love and appreciate everybody and all of the support that I've had over the years. And um, even the support that I couldn't see or couldn't address or couldn't acknowledge at the time. Um, there's not a day that went by that didn't happen because of something from somebody else. There is no going alone, even when you go alone. Well, let's hope the audio on this worked. Until the next time, I will. It's harder and harder to have something to say. So we'll see what I have to say next time. Until then, enjoy the heck out of your lives.